Welcome to this video on how to draw a mouth and lips. This video is about how to draw fuller lips with a smoother Cupid's bow. You'll notice that the lips are full all the way to the corner of the mouth and there's not really much of a defined nasolabial flow. The other video deals with thinner lips with a much more angular Cupid's bow and where the upper lip sort of goes into the mouth, towards the side of the mouth, and kind of goes into the nasolabial fold. You might have some aspects of this video and you might have some aspects of the other video, but hopefully I've covered both bases. First, you can see that I've drawn the outline of the mouth, as in the actual part of your face that opens. Always start with the mouth. If you try to draw the outside of the lips first and then add a mouth through the middle, it will end up looking like those sweets that you buy, you know, those kind of jelly lip sweets, so please avoid that. Next, I've very lightly outlined the top of the upper lip and the bottom of the lower lip, as well as the nostrils and the mound of the chin. These lines will definitely be rubbed out later on, so please do not lean hard. Never ever lean hard with the lines when you're drawing a mouth. Now, obviously the lips will have highlights and shadows in different places, but to simplify things, usually the upper lip is mostly in shadow and the lower lip is mostly a highlight. As you can see, I've added some reminders in about that, but the first shadow I've added in is a shadow between the lower lip and the mound of the chin. There's quite an extreme shadow there because these are very full lips. You can also see that I'm using an eraser to add some of the highlights back in, so I've added a highlight there back onto the mound of the chin, so it looks 3D. Things look 3D when you've got shadows next to highlights. Next, I've started adding just some smooth tone to the upper lip where the lip is going into the mouth. So where the mouth opens, this shows that the lip is curving inwards towards the mouth. Now, it's important to add some tone to the area above the upper lip so that when you add highlights in later on, they're actually visible. I've just used smooth tone for this. You can see that I'm using soft directional shading on the lower lip. I'm trying to capture the shape and the undulations of the lower lip using tone. Okay, you can see that almost all the lines on the lower lip are gone, apart from the kind of texture. And when I've got the gist of that done, it's obviously not finished yet, you can see that I'm starting to add some kind of loose textural tone to the upper lip as well. So you can see the lip is starting to come together. So I'm kind of switching between the upper lip and the lower lip, trying to get all sections going at the same time. This is a way that works for me. Some people like to get one part of a drawing completely finished before moving on to another part, but I like to get the whole drawing working at the same time. Once I've shaded in the top lip, I've used an eraser to block in the highlight along the Cupid's bow. And you can also see that I've brought that highlight around where the philtrum will be later on. So hopefully you remember the philtrum from the PowerPoint in class. It's where all the different parts of your face come together in the womb. It's a very important part of your face, so please make sure you don't forget it. This person didn't have a very defined philtrum. This philtrum's much more shallow. The other video has a much more defined philtrum. Different people have different philtrums, but please make sure that you pay attention. You either look in the mirror or look at your photograph very carefully when you're blocking details in like this. Next, you can see I'm building up more contrasting tone. Once again, these are full lips, so there's going to be quite extreme shadows and extreme highlights. That's how you make the lips look very full. If you don't add a lot of contrasting tone, the lips are going to look quite flat. If you think about it, that's what lip gloss and shiny lipsticks for. Shiny things have more contrast. So when you wear shiny lip gloss, it makes especially your bottom lip, the middle of your bottom lip, look much bigger because it exaggerates the highlight. Next, I'm using a slightly sharper pencil. I'm starting to add texture and mark making to the lower lip. Lips have little marks on them. I suppose they're sort of wrinkles really. Lips have a texture, so you need to use both your pencil and your eraser to capture that texture. I've drawn some arrows to show the directional shading that I'm using for the left hand side of the lips. Obviously on the right side of the lips, those arrows will be mirrored. Adding the texture to the lips actually takes quite a long time if you are drawing zoomed in lips. Obviously if you're drawing a whole portrait and it's more zoomed out, you don't have to spend quite as long. But you can see I've had to even speed up the video quite a lot. In the original download of this drawing, it's the texture on the lips that takes the longest. So please do spend some time. And once again, make sure that you're really looking carefully to see where those highlights, where the shadows are, and where the texture is. So I hope you found that useful. Once again, this video has been about how to draw full lips. The other video deals with slightly thinner lips. I recommend having a look at both. I hope you found that useful. Thank you.